All right. I'm going to talk for just a minute here about the mission of the Master of Public Safety program, and then we'll talk a little bit about the values. Briefly, I would say that the goal of this program is to help students change the way we practice public safety uh, in communities throughout this country and around the world. And we do that through a number of practices that are enumerated here in this slide that you're looking at. We're looking to empower leaders and challenge them to meet people where they are in their communities, to work with stakeholders. This will be a big theme of the program. And to deal with change. As we know, the one constant in life is change, but to be an effective public safety leader, you really need to be able to embrace that. And so our mission is to teach and embrace this idea of meeting change and to the extent that it's possible, getting ahead of that change. And then another huge feature here in this mission statement is the professional collaboration. And so we're really looking for people to be able to reach back out to other people who maybe they had classes with or didn't, but to have this MPS network be a real feature that helps to strengthen public safety globally. The last piece that I would highlight here on this slide is the idea of building community trust. And in policing specifically, this has been a challenge, especially over the last half a dozen years or so. Although I think trust in government overall is a challenge, and so we really want to give people skills to be able to build that trust and nurture those relationships. So that's the last piece that I would highlight here. As we look at our working values, we have many, and I'll let you read this and further explore these values in the Canvas site. I'll note that the first couple here are taken directly from the American Society for Public Administration. That's ASPA, which is an excellent organization I'd encourage you to look into to be able to connect beyond public safety to others in local, state, and national government that would be working in the same veins or in many of the same interests as those of you in public safety here. But looking at these values, advance the public interest is one of the values of this program. We really do believe that public safety is centered in the public, and so those interests are going to be different in different places. And so we want to have our students embrace this idea of advancing the public interest, and you're really going to have to find out what that looks like in your community. Uphold the Constitution and the law. This should perhaps go without saying, but I think it's important to say it and repeat it. And this is a practice that we really need to embrace. And you will spend a great deal of time in this program kind of looking at and thinking about the rule of law and our constitutional framework here in the United States specifically. Then personal and organizational integrity. And so we value the demonstration of that in our work life, and then as public servants outside of our work life to the extent that those actions that we take in our private life do reflect on our work as public safety professionals. Then again, kind of circling back to this idea of promoting equitable public engagement. Equity is important now and always, but we haven't always practiced it well, and we'll spend some time talking about that in some of the courses in this program. But the idea here that the loudest or the most frequent voices aren't necessarily more important, and that we'll try and seek out those who either don't have a voice or are not empowered to use it, so that we can get a broader sense of community and engage the whole public that we serve in our various roles. Next, and this is one of my favorites, is integrating theory and practice to solve public problems. You'll find that in this program, theory is only useful insofar as it is applicable to the work of public safety, and we'll spend a lot of time digging into that. But bringing new ideas, the best of ideas, refining those ideas to actually solve and make a difference in those issues and problems that we face in public safety. And last here is modeling and promoting professional excellence and humility. We are looking to create this network of professionals that are proud to identify with each other, that the University of Virginia is proud to identify with, that you are proud to identify with UVA. We're really just looking to help each other be the best that we can be, and in that, at the same time, embrace humility, realizing that we can't always be right. We will make mistakes. We will fail from time to time, and owning those mistakes, those failures, learning from them and moving on is an important part of leadership. So I'll take just a minute here to talk about our transfer credit program. The general policy is that you can bring in up to 6 credits from outside of UVA. That's typically 2 classes, but we can work with denominations other than 3+3. So they have to be graduate units. They need to be from a regionally accredited institution. They need to be 5 or fewer years old from now. And so the example here is the 2021 school year, which would mean that you could only go back in this instance to the 2015-2016 school year. So just take wherever we are as you're looking at this video, subtract 5 years from it, and that's the oldest units that you could bring in. And the last bullet here is that it can't already be part of a degree. We don't double count units here at UVA. So if you already have, say, a master's degree in public administration, for example, you would not be able to use those courses for your MPS degree. The process is pretty simple. We need to see your transcript. Then we want to know the rationale, just how you see these fitting into the program. We're very open-minded about what public safety is, and so maybe you took a class in environmental design, and if that's relevant to your work in public safety and in the way you practice it, we can let those units in. So we have a link to a site here in the MPS Student Commons where you can upload those documents, fill out a few questions, and your advisor will make the decision on whether or not to let those credits come in. The other thing we ask for is a syllabus to see kind of the specifics of the coursework beyond just the grade that you got in that course. And last bullet point here, I note that timing is part of the advising process. Some people may have already talked with us about this during your application process, and if not, any time between now and graduation works. Earlier is better, just so that we can have these things squared away and you can have all the documentation in place. Not a rush, but you don't want to wait until a few weeks before you're finishing up. So the MPS pathway is fairly straightforward. There are 5 core courses that everyone has to take. There are no substitutes or transfer options for those 5 core courses, and those are listed right on the main Master of Public Safety webpage. Those are the 6000 course, which is Transformational Leadership in Changing Times, the 6010 course, the Constitutional Framework of Public Safety, the 60/30 course, which is the emergency preparedness course, 60/40, which is our community dialogue course, and 60/50, which is the stewardship of public assets course. So those 5 courses everybody has to take. Then there are 5 elective courses, or 15 credits if you're transferring in something that maybe had a different number of units to a course. But anyway, 15 elective credits. If those are coming from a prior UVA program, like the FBI National Academy or the National Criminal Justice Command College or FBI Elevate or FBI C-Steps, those are UVA programs. Those credits already exist on your transcript, and there's no process required. You don't have to submit anything. We look and see, and if you took the course and you had a grade of B or better, that will automatically count as an elective in the MPS program. So then the option is for those who need additional credits. If you haven't been to one of those programs that I just named, we pull those from our graduate certificate programs. And we have programs in cybersecurity, public administration, contracts and procurement management, project management, and this link that you see here in this slide. You can find that in the resources page. You can also find that in the particular module on advising. There are a wide range of courses that you can take. And again, it's really about your interest. And some people will concentrate and take all of their electives in one particular area, and some people favor range, and that is a decision that you can make for you, and you can talk to your advisor about that to get additional information. Everyone in the program is assigned an advisor at the very beginning, and you can find the current list of advisors. At this point, it would either be myself, Jay Farr, James McIlvain, or Mark Hoover. And you can find contact information for advisors in the MPS Student Commons here. And if you go into SIS, which is described in another module, you can see who your advisor is. And that's a great person to ask if you want to talk about elective options. But if you have something that sounds good to you and you want to do it, go for it. All of the courses that start with 5 or 6 will count for electives, and those are graduate courses, and we're happy to discuss any preferences or questions you might have. And one note at the bottom here is even though these electives are coming from our certificate areas, you can't earn a certificate at the same time that you are earning the master's degree. We expect to have a future option for concentration, and that may be open to you, and I would encourage you to discuss that with your advisor. Talk briefly here about the MPS comprehensive exam. The comprehensive exam is the last thing that you do after you finish all your coursework. And you sign up for that in your last semester of the program, and you have to have done all your coursework at a grade of B or better, as you can read here. It's a pass-fail exam. We'll give you an indication of a high pass, a pass, or a low pass just for informational purposes and personal growth. But as far as the degree is considered in its conferral, it is just a pass or fail. So everybody who gets the degree has passed the exam. Here's a note that there is a sample in the MPS Student Commons. There's really quite a lot of information about planning for and prepping for the exam, and I'll talk more about that in just a moment. I would emphasize that the exam is on the core course material, And so you may have learned something in one of your elective courses that is going to be helpful to you in the exam, but as you're thinking about what will be covered, what do you need to know and prepare for and have organized, it is those 5 core courses I named earlier. 6,000, 60-10, 60-30, 60-40, and 60-50. That's leadership, the Constitution, emergency preparedness, community dialogue, and stewardship. That's what will be covered in the comprehensive exam. And here I'll note that exam prep starts now. You should be taking notes on key concepts and authors in each course, because one of the requirements of the exam is that you cite, that is, you specifically call out material from each of those core courses. And so here I have on this slide an example from the 6,000 Transformational Leadership course. You will read a book chapter written by Aaron Conley and me, and we describe how one-size-fits-all approaches are not realistic or effective means for addressing police misconduct. And so you would, if you were making that point in an answer in your comprehensive exam, you would cite Conley and Gustafson 2013, and we would recognize that as being material from your leadership course. Here's another example citing McClellan's work on humility. You'll learn more about how to cite evidence like this throughout the program, but it'll be really important that you do this for each of your core courses in that comprehensive exam.
Over the next few minutes, we will talk about some of the resources that are available to you as you go through the Masters of Public Safety program. So let's start off by looking about where you're going to be able to locate some of these resources. Easiest place to start is right here. Student resources at the website. It's the scps.virginia.edu. When you log on here, you'll see a tab as highlighted in the arrow above that tells you exactly where to go to seek out the student resources. To give you an idea, here's some of the resources that are available to you as you go through the program, and we'll spend a little bit more time on each of these as we move through the program today. In your SIS account, you'll find many of the things that are listed here. You can find your classes. You can find out information necessary to enroll and register for your classes, drop or edit enrollment. Keep in mind here also that you can get information related to the academic calendar. Make sure that you keep track of the academic calendar, because if you intend to change or drop classes, there are restrictions, so be mindful of that. You can see your own academic record here. Keep tab of your grades, your transcripts, and you can view and submit any financial information. And lastly, you can change information about yourself. I highly encourage you to keep this current, because oftentimes if we are looking for a student, maybe to reach out to them about an assignment or reach out about some other aspect, we may not just send an email through the university's email. We may try to get you through your alternate email addresses or phone numbers. So it's very important that this stays current. Try to keep that up to date as much as possible. Library services are available through the University of Virginia's library, as the link above says. I would highly recommend that as soon as you have the opportunity, that you start to explore what's available to you in the university library. Where this can be extremely beneficial is doing your research for the class. Professional journals and things of that nature can be accessed here. Also, they have a broad base of newspapers or other correspondence from around the world. It's a great place to get a tremendous amount of information, and it's readily available to you 24/7. Highly recommend you check this out as soon as you possibly can. Information related to people that will assist you. The School of Continuing Education has on call Todd Burks. His number is listed here. Todd will help you with any questions you have concerning the university library, access, etc. I've always been told that he is extremely helpful in helping students sort of navigate their way through the resources available to them. As you can see, the numbers for him are located here. He has also been gracious enough to include his evening and weekend phone number. Lastly, I want to make sure that you're very well aware of the University of Virginia Honor Code. The biggest thing that you need to take away is the university has a very long history of and a very strict application of the Honor Code. Take a time to go to this site, review the Honor Code, be familiar with it, and understand that the university wants to hold you to high standards as well as hold us to high standards. This is a great place for you to go if you have any questions concerning the Honor Code or issues related to it. They did make one slight change in the last year. It used to be a single sanction was enough to be dismissed from the university. That is no longer the case. Every case is taken a look at on a case-by-case basis, and the decisions are made based upon the degree of the breach of trust. Take a minute, find an opportunity to look at the Honor Code, and be mindful of it through all of your studies.
Hello, I'm James McElvain, and I'm one of the assistant professors in the MPS program. Over the next several slides, I'm going to talk about Canvas and how you will use it to access your classes. I'll also talk a little bit about using Zoom video conferencing and how you can access it to attend weekly class live discussions or watch recordings of those live discussions if you weren't able to attend during the regular live discussion. And lastly, I'll share a little information about free software and resources and technical support. If you're not already familiar with Canvas, it is a course management system that supports online learning and teaching and is used by universities and colleges all over the world. In short, it is a platform that allows teachers to provide students a gateway to educational modules. And within those modules, you'll have reading assignments, links to recorded lectures, assignments, posting grades, and other features all in one place. To begin, you may want to start here. So at the bottom of the screen, I listed a web address. That will take you here. One of the ways to access Canvas is by downloading an app from the App Store or Google Play, depending on what type of computer you have. I'd also suggest taking a moment to click on the For Students link right here. When you click on that link, it'll take you here, and you can review the information for getting started. And if you need help, you can click on Getting Help here. And when you click on that link, you can see there are several options to obtain assistance with Canvas. All right, let's get into Canvas. So using the website that I have here and I showed in the previous slide, you can log into the page for Canvas. You will use your UVA email address for the UVA computing ID here. And then you're going to enter your password and then click Login. The university uses multi-factor authentication to allow access, so you'll want to set that up as well. So once you log in, you will arrive at your dashboard, which will look a little bit different. This is mine, how it's set up. At any rate, you're going to find the courses you have signed up for here. There will be a tile or two depending on how many classes you've signed up for. To access that class, click on the tile. So I'm going to start with clicking on this tile, which is going to bring me to this page. While the class you may have signed up for may be different, your menu to the left should be very similar to what you see here. As you familiarize yourself with Canvas, you may want to start with the syllabus. This link will take you to a page to access the syllabus. Now here, if you click on the link, it will download the course syllabus. Other instructors may have it set up a little bit differently. They may land you directly into a syllabus. The way I have it set up is as a download. Next, you may want to explore the course modules. Now here you're going to find a few resources. Now, beyond the Canvas assistance for students, I strongly encourage you to review resources for students, particularly the resources for writing and referencing sources in the APA style. You'll need this throughout the program for the master's level writing. Now, if you click on one of the weekly modules, you can access module information. Here is an example. In the module, you will see information that provides an overview of the module. The module activity, readings or other items to review, and your associated assignments. There is information on how to complete the module, a link to recorded lectures, and links to supplemental resources, discussions, assignments, depending on the requirements for the given module. Next, I'll talk a little bit about how you can access live discussion meetings and recordings of the live class discussions. We primarily use Zoom for our live discussions. And just a word or two about Zoom. First, you need to use your UVA Zoom account. You cannot access it through another account. So to access it, go to zoom.us and sign in. You will use your UVA email address and password to log in. This will take you through, again, the net badge process to gain access. Or through Canvas, you can access the live discussions by clicking on the online meeting in Canvas. You will then click join at the appropriate time. Usually you want to join a few minutes early so that you can get settled in before the class starts. If you cannot attend the live session, a recording will be saved in the cloud, and you can access that here. You can then select the recording you missed. All right, as I wrap up this section, as a student, you have access to several resources, from Microsoft Office apps to statistical packages if you're inclined to use those. You can access them through the gateway address that I have listed at the top of the slide. Lastly, there are options for tech support. I've listed a few of the websites here to the help desk and Canvas support. As you continue your journey, I wish you well as you move towards completing the MPS program. Take care.
Looking at the end here, if you have questions or comments that haven't been answered, I would encourage you to seek out your advisor and ask. You could also ask a professor in one of your courses. You might also look through the MPS Student Commons at frequently asked questions, or go back through the table of contents and see if maybe there is an entry that will answer your question. But by all means, reach out and get that support that you're looking for if you have unanswered questions.